got polio? Is that the question?
Yes, it was.
All right, I was 8 years old, 8 years and 6 months. I was in the 3rd grade. And school had started the day after Labor Day, which was on a Tuesday in September. And I got sick during school on Friday.
So it was first week of school.
Yeah, first week back at school after summer vacation. And I remember having a horrible headache that day at school. And then when I was walking home, I kept falling down. And I skinned my knees and all that good stuff. But it was 5 blocks to walk, and I fell down more than 5 times. And when I got home, Mother had me, lay down, and I had a fever. And later that night and over the weekend, I had my neck started getting real stiff, and my headache continued. And I threw up some, and my muscles got stiff. And at night, I had hallucinations from the fevers. I was seeing all sorts of monsters in the ceiling.
Did you hear that, Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Monsters in the ceiling from the fever.
And this was during World War II, and we didn't have a car, so Mother took me to the doctor on Monday morning, and we walked over to the bus stop, which was across the park, and I kept stumbling over the tree roots.
Okay.
And I took the city bus downtown to Nashville, where the doctor's office was. And the doctor was Dr. Bridges, and he, made the diagnosis of the polio, but he also called in an orthopedic specialist who was right across the hall, and he came in and confirmed it.
Mm-hmm.
And since many of the doctors were in the service, in the Army or the Navy, and they were treating the wounded soldiers, so doctors were very scarce. And the doctors decided it was better for Mother and Dad to take care of me at home than for me to go to a hospital.
Okay. Better for parents?
Yeah, because they would teach them what to do for me. And the first thing they did was I rode down there to the doctor's office on the bus, and I came home in an ambulance.
That's something. I didn't know that, Mom.
Yeah. And when I came home, they immediately put me to bed. And I had to keep they put a box at the end of the bed that had bricks or something in it, so I couldn't move it around, and I had to keep my feet pressed against the box. And I had to lie straight on my back and keep my feet propped up. And that was to keep the Achilles tendon stretched.
So it went paralyzed? Mom?
What?
So it wouldn't go paralyzed?
To keep my foot stretched so the Achilles tendon would not, it would keep it stretched out so it wouldn't draw up.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then the main treatment was hot baths as hot as I could stand them. They would put me in the bathtub. And I had to be carried everywhere I went. They put me in the bathtub and would put me in just warm water and then turn on the hot water until I couldn't stand it anymore. And this was to keep my muscles relaxed. And I would sit there for an hour twice a day.
Okay, muscles twice a day. Okay.
Is Sarah listening?
Sarah's listening.
Okay. And then Mother or Dad one would take my foot and push it back, take the bottom of the foot and push it toward, I would be laying down. And they would push the foot toward my head. And then pull it back toward my head, pull it back, and you do that like 100 times. And then to both sides, to the outside, toward the inside, the outside, and toward the inside. And kept bending my legs to keep them, so my muscles wouldn't draw up. And they did that for the next, the next 4 years until I was in the 7th grade. Did that every night, in the morning and at night.
4 years she had to do that.
For 4 years. And then I did it through I think at 10th grade. And then I had another one once I could walk again. I would stand up and do knee bends, holding onto a chair to keep those muscles stretched.
And you had to do this from the time you were 8 until you were about 16?
About 15 or 16, yeah. And then...
That's a really interesting... she has to have 8 really interesting points in her speech that she's going to give. I think that kids would really... That would be interesting that you had to do all those exercises for 7 years.
Yeah. And then in